many of our opinions as citizens who've read the Constitution, there's no constitutional authority to ban drugs by the federal government. And now, obviously, the courts are going to disagree with me. And if you go to court and make that argument, you may lose. But I think that's the solid, the logical, and the sound constitutional argument. And maybe someday we'll have judges that reflect that view.
Well, it seems like part of the problem is that marijuana works and it doesn't have many side effects and it doesn't cost that much. So it's a problem for the.
It's going to have to be brought up from the base of society, from people demanding it from the politicians, demanding that the judges even if you notice after the Supreme Court's bizarre ruling a couple of weeks ago allowing the federal government to continue to harass people who want to use medical marijuana, if you notice the federal government was very quick to say, oh, we're not going to go after sick people, we're only going to go after the most extreme cases of trafficking and that type of thing. So they know that their position is unpopular. They know that they're not on solid ground as far as public relations is concerned. And we just need to expand that. It's a political thing. It's a social thing that over the years we need to educate. As Dr. Grinspoon has said in the interview that you've done with him, it's a long, laborious educational process, but it has to begin and has to be pursued, and we have to be patient.
What about here in Kentuckiana? Is there any hope in this area?
Well, as Donna said before, there's always hope, but we have a tough road to hoe, as I might say. Kentucky is one of the, our lieutenant governor has been a traditional drug prosecutor for the federal government. Neither party in Kentucky has budged that much on the issue. But again, as the years pass and as more and more of the population recognizes that this is a valid an alternative, I think we have a chance in the future, but it won't happen overnight.
Can I?
Sure.
I say the younger people that do smoke marijuana the most are not the most politically active.
That's true,
and
too.
for the younger people need to get together on this issue, because as people age, they just, at 21, then they just can buy alcohol. So the younger people that cannot buy alcohol, and it's very common in the younger age group because of the people that push and try to promote marijuana to younger people, they're not politically active. So I think this is the main reason why the marijuana issue is not getting very far, is because the people who use it the most don't vote, or they're involved in things that young people have not become seriously involved in they're doing too many things, just enjoying themselves being young adults, and they haven't learned about politics and how it plays what the role it plays in their lives. Now, as older people understand the medical benefits of marijuana, and you see more elderly people or middle-aged people wanting to use marijuana as part of their medical care, I think you will see a change in the opinion, because these people do contribute donations to political campaigns as well as vote and have much more influence.
Right, and I agree with that, and I think, you see that the tide of public opinion ebbs and flows. If you look back, many people don't realize that in World War II, for example, the farmers of Kentucky and a number of other states who grew hemp were actually exempted from the draft because that was considered a vital part of the war effort to produce hemp. Well, now that's not even legally possible anymore. So you see the changes that can come and go. It changes for the bad, it can change for the good.
Yep. Well, I want to stop for just a second here and send this far. And then I want to get your comments on the situation. So happy we alive, we together can survive. Stop the bullshit, stop the lies. Now's the time to legalize. Tell me, brother, tell me true. What the hell we gonna do? Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, yeah, baby, what you do to me? We so happy, we alive. We together can survive. But Mother Nature, heaven sent, don't belong to government. Tell me, sister, what's your plan? Do you really understand? Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, yeah, baby, what you did to me? Human nature, full and free, modifies reality. Open up inner flower, peace and love, inner power. Open up inner flower, peace and love, inner power. Remember the day we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, yeah, baby, what you do to me? Thank you so very much. And I don't want to interrupt your all's meeting much more, but I'm just wondering if anyone would like to make any comment on this issue before we close. Sure.
You know, the Supreme Court decision was based upon an issue known as federalism and whether or not that the use of medical marijuana interfered with interstate commerce, which is a constitutional issue known as the Commerce Clause. And again, to think that two ladies that grow their own marijuana for their own personal use, which they consume, somehow affects commerce between states is so far out there. I wonder if the justices themselves have been smoking a little marijuana. And you know, perhaps they should if they haven't. But in any event, the decision was not only a defeat for free choice in the marijuana issue, but also a large defeat for the principles of what we call states' rights and the ability for the states, which have their own powers that are enumerated or not enumerated in the constitutions, but which fall to them, to act as experimental laboratory and to see what works and doesn't what doesn't work. So it's unfortunate that we're not going to allow this to occur in California and see what the actual effects are going to be.
All right, agreed totally. Does anyone else have any comments? Emily, this is our representative of the National Libertarian Party.
Well, actually, I'm talking about, as a resident of Ann Arbor, Michigan, in November 2004, we passed by 73% in our city a medical marijuana initiative. The people who are sick can smoke marijuana and they're to be left alone. Our police chief has told his police officers not to pay any attention to that. The Democrat governor of the state of Michigan, Jennifer Granholm, sent us a letter and said, you're not going to be able to do that because you can't trump state law. And so where is the whole idea of being able to govern